whatever they're saying is not really matching the energy that they're giving you, that's how you know that it's not real. It's not genuine, right? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Natasha. For those of you guys that are new, welcome. For those of you guys that are returning, thank you so much for coming back. In today's video, I have a sit down. I'm getting ready, and as I'm getting ready, I'm talking to you guys about friendships. I'm talking about healthy friendships, toxic friendships, how to create those healthy boundaries, how to spot a toxic relationship and be able to get rid of it and move on. So if you guys want to just listen in and see what I have to say, stay tuned. Friendship is just a hot topic. We all have friends. We all have a friend group. We all have a best friend. We experience friendship in all these different ways and forms in a day-to-day basis. You deal with friendship in your own way. Some are healthy, some are toxic. And so today I'll be talking about what are healthy friendships, or what do they look like? What are toxic ones? How to spot them, how to get rid of them, all that good stuff. Well, maybe not so good stuff, but you know what I mean. So as I'm doing my makeup, I'll be talking and chit-chatting with you guys. I have my coffee because I need to wake up. Let me take a sip and then we'll go ahead and get started. So I want to start off by saying that it's about quality and not about quantity. At least that's how I see it. So when I was growing up, I thought the more friends you had, the better. You know, I kind of had this idea of, oh wow, if you have X amount of friends, you're popular. If you don't have X amount of friends, you're not popular. And obviously that's not the right idea to have. But growing up, you don't know any better, right? You're still feeling everyone out, you're learning, you're growing. And so that was what I experienced when I was younger. Specifically in elementary, middle school, I had about 4 to 5 group of girlfriends. They were my core group. And in hindsight, now that I look at it, my life consistently focused on pretty much 3 things: school, family, and friends. I would spend all this time with my friends in school, and then after school, I would go to their houses and pretty much spend till the evening there, till my mom was done working, to then get picked up by my mom, get home, and then after I finished eating, I would go on the phone and spend even more time talking to them on the phone. So that to me was a little obsessive now that I look at it. It definitely was not healthy. I mean, as adults, we have so much more to do with our time that we can't be stuck on the phone or spending so much time with a friend as I used to back then. I mean, I didn't have any real responsibilities like I do now. It's obviously a very different time where I was in my life then till where I am now. And back then, friendships were very cliquey. It was like if you weren't part of a group, at least the way I experienced it, you were not really gonna get into that group. Yeah, you know, people would be nice to you, they would say hi to you, small talk. It wasn't gonna get any further than that, you know? And so at the time, I really stuck close to the friends I had because, one, I was an only child, so I was already lonely as it was. And then 2, I felt like these were my people. You know, I had found people that I felt comfortable with, that we could talk and spend time together, and it was fun, it was lighthearted. It definitely had some gossip into it, and that's where I felt like, looking back, it was not as healthy. It was a little bit toxic, right? When you have friends that spend time talking about other people or judging other people, it kind of gives you a perspective into, what about if I wasn't in the room? Would you be talking about me the way you talk about somebody else when they're not in the room? And so that's one sign specifically to spot when trying to figure out if this is a friend that is trustworthy, that is loyal, that you feel like will be your ride or die, so to speak, right? Someone that talks behind someone else's back with you will most likely do the same about you when you're not around. That's just the way I take it. And so now fast forward from middle school to high school, it definitely is a very different experience. So I didn't know what cliquey was until I went to high school. For the most part, at least in my experience, I never felt like I wanted to be part of the cool kids, part of the popular kids. I definitely was not that back in high school. I had maybe like 5 or 6 close friends that I hung out with, and those were the friends that were in my classes that I bonded with over school. So I don't want to say that we were more so nerdy, but in a way we kind of were. And I was pretty happy with it, right? I thought it was a very genuine group. We weren't talking about other people. We were talking about ourselves, things we wanted to accomplish, goals that we had for while we were in school. And so those are the kind of things that a healthy friendship surrounds itself by. People that have similar goals, or even if it's different goals, but they're looking to elevate each other. They're looking to level up. You're looking to help each other out, right? To grow and glow together. And so in high school, I think you go through different friendships. It's not just a single stage, at least in my experience. So I had a core group of friends starting out from freshman to junior year, I would say. And then from junior year till senior year, I transitioned from that friend group to my best friends that are with me today. So the ones that I met in junior year all the way till now. And it's two of my girlfriends. So that transition happened organically. I didn't want to lose my other friends, but they didn't really understand my newfound friendships. And it was more so like they didn't, I guess they felt like I was choosing this new group over the other group. And then we just kind of fizzled out. And so for me, that's in itself toxicity, because just because someone has a new relationship or a new friendship doesn't mean that you can't accept that and still have one of your own with that person. And I think when you're younger, you don't really think about all those things. You don't process the way you do now. So it's very different. And so transitioning into this new friendship was a whole other level of leveling up. And the reason I say this is because it was more so about where we wanted to be in the future, thinking about college, talking about applications, thinking about ways that we can stand out in these essays. And so the point I want to make when I refer to these two friend groups in high school is that I learned through the transition that not everyone is going to understand the choices and the decisions that you make, but it'll tell you a lot about a person that regardless of them understanding how they support you in that, right? If they're not supportive, then that's not something that I personally want to be part of. I want to be part of a friend group that, despite not agreeing with the choices and decisions that I'm making, that they accept and support, because as an individual, I am allowed to make those choices independently, right? And so now the transition from high school to college was definitely different. It's a whole different ballgame in college. You have sororities, you have people that you dorm with, like your suite mates, then you have people in class. You have all these different types of avenues to meet people and to create friendships. I want to say I have 4 different categories when it comes to meeting people. You can either be an acquaintance, you can either be a coworker. Sometimes coworkers do turn into friends, but there's just simply other people that are just coworkers. Then there's a friend who is close to me, but not as close as a best friend. So those are the 4 different categories I say I go by. And so my suite mates in college, for example, only one of them I considered a friend. The rest were just suite mates. I would say hi, bye, small talk, but it was very surface level. People in class were more so acquaintances. I knew you because I see you in class. I know your face. Sometimes we talk, sometimes we don't, but that's just what it is. And then when it came to my best friends, I ended up going to college with one of my best friends. The other one went to Albany. And then I actually gained another best friend who was from college, and we still are best friends. That is the only best friend from college. So, I just wanted to do a breakdown for you guys so you can see that I really don't have all of these friends out here. I have a core group of best friends, and then I have some friends, and then most of everybody else are acquaintances, right? Because I feel like you have to be very careful who you trust. Not everyone can earn your trust. And I learned this the hard way when I got out of college and went into the workforce and experienced a situation where I got really close to a colleague and started telling my personal business, and that person told someone else, and I was devastated. I felt betrayed, right? And that's probably the lesson that I learned that really stuck with me, is that you can't tell everyone everything. I thought that I could trust people, and my trust was broken. And so now I'm very vigilant of who I tell my business to. I pretty much don't tell my business to unless it's my best friends or whatnot. But even then, when you do have close friends or best friends, some things you do keep personal, right? Everybody has things that they don't tell other people, right? It's a sense of being you, a private you, right? You know, you have to learn how to keep certain things to yourself. And when I was younger, I didn't understand that. But now that I'm older, I do understand. And so now that I'm older, I realize that friendships are great when they have healthy boundaries. Healthy boundary meaning we're all adults now. We all have lives outside of each other. We have goals that we want to accomplish. And so understanding each other's goals and supporting each other is key. I've come to the realization that I like to be friends with people that have the same values as me, the same core values, because then I know we're on the same page. If we don't have the same core values and we're not in the same wavelength, then unfortunately, it's not going to work out, right? You have to realize that some people either bring you down or pick you up, right? Pick you up meaning they're leveling up, so that's in turn going to make you push harder to level up yourself. But if people are involved in bad things or are simply not motivated, not ambitious, don't really have maybe something going for them, or don't even want things to go for them, then that's not something that you want to be part of, right? Because they say, I'll tell you who you are by who you surround yourself with, right? So if you surround yourself with people that are better than you, that are smarter than you, you're going to start growing, right? Because you're going to want to catch up. You're going to want to be on their level or better. You have to stay very aware and realize when it's time to let go of something that's no longer serving you. And a lot of people have trouble letting go, right? Because it's not easy if you have a 10-year friendship or a 10-year relationship and then you come to the realization that that person hasn't been good for you all along. So you have to really self-reflect, because these are important things that later down the road will affect you if you don't stop them now. And what's interesting is, now that I'm talking about self-reflecting and becoming aware and really observing your friends and how your friendship is with each other, is one of my best friends sent me a quote where it says, not everyone that claps for you is actually happy for you, right? And so in a friendship, there should be no jealousy, right? There is no competition. The only competition you should be having is with yourself. And yes, with social media, it's very hard to not compare yourself, right? Social media has really done a number on us. And when I mean us, I even mean me, right? We start comparing ourselves, and that's where, you know, things can really start becoming negative. And so in a friendship, it should be about boosting each other up, helping each other out, really being happy and supportive of one another for one's own success, and knowing that supporting somebody else is not taking away from you. When you see somebody else do well, specifically your close friend or your best friend, that's great, because that means you're in line next, right? You guys all are in this close circle. So whoever levels up, you're right there behind them. That's when you realize who your friends are and who you want to keep close to, or who you have to let go. Because when you realize that some people are smiling, but whatever they're saying is not really matching the energy that they're giving you, that's how you know that it's not real, it's not genuine, right? And you always want somebody that has the best interest for you, and then you for them. Misery loves company. If somebody's miserable, that's gonna rub off on you. Their energy, their aura, whatever they talk about, you guys are not going to engage in proactive conversations. You're going to engage in reactive conversations. So you want to be mindful of that. So when it comes to how to let go of something that's no longer healthy for you, right? It might have started off healthy and then it turned toxic. That happens. Or it was toxic all along and you didn't realize, you were bandaged, but now your bandage is off and you're woke and you're like, this has to stop. Well, for one, you just have to do it, right? You're gonna feel emotional, you're gonna feel heartache maybe, right? You're gonna go through it, but it is what you have to do to get through it. And there's no way around it. And you let them know kindly that you've self-reflected, that you've done work on yourself, that you've grown, and you feel like they no longer fit your life or can fit your life, period. And so the key to not committing the same mistake again of creating a new friendship where it turns toxic, you have to create these healthy boundaries. Healthy boundaries, right? There's a fine line between somebody trying to encourage you to go out of your comfort zone and then somebody outright just disrespecting your wishes, right? If you're consistently feeling like someone is pushing you to do things that you don't want to do, and you know that it's not like, I don't want to do it, but I should do it, then that's how you know that they're not respecting your boundaries. So from the start, from the jump, you have to put those boundaries in place, right? If you let somebody disrespect your boundary once, what's going to happen? They're going to keep disrespecting it, right? It's going to be a pattern that can't be stopped because you didn't put the stop to it right from the beginning. A friendship that's a two-way friendship is also one that you have to establish from the very beginning. It's not me doing all the work. It always takes two to tango. So I'm going to put an effort, you're going to put an effort. This is a two-way street. So that you know that you're not giving 100%. Meanwhile, this person is half-assing the friendship and giving you 50%. Okay, so I just had to do the rest of the face off camera because I was getting too sidetracked. I realized that I cannot multitask. I pretty much gave you guys my 2 cents on friendship, how to go from a toxic friendship to a healthy one, how to create those healthy boundaries. So if you guys did enjoy this type of video where I talk more about topics like this, comment below. Let me know what other topics you want me to talk about. I'm here to just uncover and discuss and give my personal opinion, my experience, all of that stuff. So if you guys do want to see more of that, please just let me know. And then also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also turn on your bell notifications. That way you get to know when I update or upload a new video. And with that being said, I hope you guys truly enjoyed it and I will see you guys in the next video. Mwah!